My name is Anya Ciecierski with the ERP Software Blog, and today I'm with the Alta Vista Technology team. Scott, tell us a little bit about Alta Vista.
Well, our team has been doing this for more than 25 years. Alta Vista Technology started in 2014, and we all came back together specifically to work in the GP and SL world. We've been Microsoft fans forever. And of course, when Business Central released, we jumped on that and been working with it ever since. Have hundreds of customers on GP, about 100 customers on Business Central, and continue to move our GP customers over to Business Central.
Great. And Scott, you're the CEO, so tell me, Peter and Kevin, what are your roles?
I'm the Director of Services for the Dynamics practice over at Alta Vista Technology, and I've been customer and consultant along the way.
Yeah, I work in the pre-sale solution architecture role with the sales team.
Great. So what we wanted to get your insights on, and from a ERP consultant, but also from a user perspective as well, is what tips would you give to a company that's going through the ERP evaluation process?
I think it's important for them to understand the current pain that they have. You'd be surprised how many people you talk to that don't really understand their pain. So understand it. So when you're talking to a partner like ourselves, you can find the partners that fit you. So that could be industry expertise. So they just say you're a distributor of hard goods. Make sure you're working with a partner that understands that business really, really well. Then they also know the add-on products that go as part of that. So let's say we're talking about Business Central. You need to know, hey, do they have EDI requirements? Do I then, what partners are they working with? Making sure that the partner you pick has a very good network inside the community.
Great. And Scott, you told me there's something that you have maybe a bit of a controversial viewpoint on hiring outside. What was that?
I get in trouble with this one all the time, but I don't care for selection consultants much. Now, I want to be careful because there are some really good ones out there. But I have found in the past 25 years, we get a lot of people come to us with RFPs because they think RFP is the end-all, do-all. They're going to get the right solution. And I can tell you many times we've had to go in after the fact, them going through an RFP process, and fix what they did. So I would caution customers to be careful on the selection consultants they pick. Often they have the capabilities to do it themselves.
Nice.
If they pick the right partner.
There you go, which is a very, very key and crucial part of the equation. Pete, you've been on both the user side and the consultant side.
Right.
What would you say your advice would be to somebody in this situation?
It's really sitting down and making sure you document what you're going to ask for, because a lot of times we get into the projects and you start talking and they make assumptions. The client will make an assumption that you know what they're talking about. And you can say, I want this report, and it means one thing to one customer and something else to another customer. So we're constantly deciphering that. And quite honestly, I came up with a coin because there's one project a few years ago that I ran into where it seemed like every time I turned around, there was a new requirement. So I kept referring to it as a drive-by requirement because we're almost done, and then all of a sudden, here comes another requirement that they throw out at us. So it's really understanding what you're doing and making sure you document everything and get that detail down, because if you're not telling us, we might not know. And even though you think it's standard, you might be doing it slightly different than somebody else.
Great. So, Kevin, what are some pitfalls that maybe somebody in this ERP evaluation would come across or a red flag that, hey, this partner or this consultant maybe doesn't know what they should?
So I don't really put my finger directly on that, but I think Scott kind of hit on it a little earlier, and it's they looking for a trusted advisor, right? So as we get in that process with them, first we want them to understand we understand your business, right? And we're here to help you work your way through the selection and not just put something in front of you as a solution because we'd like to get your licensing and services. So, and I think that is how where we build our most credibility with our prospects and customers.
For a customer or prospect that's looking for a partner, third-party validation is a good thing. So customer references. Is it people from your industry? Could be people local, not necessarily industry, but are people in your industry using that solution and that partner? Super important. There are other avenues. I won't get into all of them, but there are some websites that really track customer reviews. Very, very important to see what end users really say about the partner and the product.
Great advice. So Scott, you told me you have a couple customers here at Community Summit. Why do you think it's so important for your customers to come here?
So I mentioned doing this 25 years, each of us, long time, started going to Convergence for back even pre-Microsoft, many days, and of course, Summit. People say, well, why do you go? Well, there's a lot of great sessions for people. There's a lot of great information. One of my favorite personal things to do is walk the expo floor, because you find a lot of people or a lot of niche players that fit and will, I don't want to say fill holes, but really that's what it is. They fill holes or they add functionality to the base product. I recommend every single customer at least once come to one of these. But we have customers that come absolutely every year. I will tell you, my very first customer that I sold at the end of 1999, so we've wear 25, 26 of these, they've been to at least 20.
Wow.
They come
kidding.
all the time. They love them. Just there's always something when you come here that you go home with and say, hey, let's go look at this. Let's go implement this piece. Hey, did you hear this was coming? A lot of good information comes out in these events.
Great. And obviously you see the value of bringing your team with you too to get that education and stay up to date with what's going on. Peter, is there anything from this event that's really stood out to you or that you've maybe heard one of your customers say impacted them?
I haven't heard anything say impact, but I know talking to the customers today that they're like, yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of good information. It's very interesting. I know for me, I come in and I get talking to like Kenny, forgot his exact title at Microsoft, but I know he's into the operations stuff and coding of the program. And he was giving out a lot of tips today about where to go get some blog information and information about the upcoming releases and YouTube videos. So getting that and knowing where to go and not having to go search for it and make sure I'm going to the right place and it's not just some off partner that might not be getting the full content. So you're getting stuff like that. You're getting ideas of how to, use the software, how to use the platform, for Power Automate, the Power Platform, and automating some things so that it really helps the client understand that, hey, there are more options out here. Hey, my partner is telling me about these things. Or, hey, Mr. Partner, I saw this. Could this help me? Because there's a lot out there. There's a lot of ISVs. And like Scott said, there's niche ISVs out there that might work. And we're looking for them, but maybe we didn't come across that one yet. Or maybe there's a problem they're having that they don't realize is a problem until they see the ISV. So it's a good way to come learn, get an idea what the software can do, and go back and ask about those projects and try to get a new project started.
I want to add something about customers that come to this, because Kevin and I have had this conversation many, many times over the years, is about utilization of the product. So customers that come to these events, they learn all these different things. They go home, they implement, and they utilize them. What you find is happier customers. The customers that have come here say, hey, I know all this additional things. When you talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, we're using that part of the system or whatever that is. The people that come here are much, much happier with their product long-term because they're getting so much additional information.
Oh, that's great. Kevin, is there anything that you've seen coming down the pike from Microsoft Dynamics that's exciting to you that you're looking forward to telling your customers about when you get back home?
Everyone's going to say, right, hey, what's going on with this AI area, right? And I think we're all trying to figure that out together, but trying to help customers make sense of it in order, like, what's the use case for it? Not just that you can use it to help you draft something, but what's the use? What problem do I solve with it? So that, I think, and that's a really interesting conversation to have. And Pete and I get to have that, and Scott, among our peer groups. And that's another reason that we're here, is just to talk to people that do what we do.
Yeah, and that makes you a better consultant for your clients. So
Awesome.
Scott, to wrap it up, what's one thing that you would really like people listening to know about Alta Vista Technologies?
Oh boy, that
one.
is such a great question. Like, I don't even know where to start with that. Alta Vista is such a great company. Again, we've, every company is going to say they have great people, so it's hard to say, because I think our people are the best, based on what our customers say about them and how they implement them. And I mentioned it, I don't want to promote any other websites, there's one in particular I can tell you that Pete's been named multiple times by customers, things like that. Kevin has as well. just knowing that we have a long history and a lot of good customers that are our cheerleaders is super exciting for us. And I encourage people to talk to them, because if they talk to our customers, they're going to work with us.
That's great. Thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you at the next community summit as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
see you
Appreciate your
there.
time today.